For everything, there's a season.
Same.
Yeah.
I agree with that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But dude, I love that perspective because you're right. I think become in 2024, maybe not so much now as it has been the last like decade, to just throw a label on somebody and be like, I'm not going to do anything about it. Like I'm now going to learn to accept myself as this in my outcomes and not have responsibility for it.
Yes.
Versus, oh, I'm going to understand what I am, and now therefore I'm going to take responsibility for my outcomes, and I'm going to generate the outcomes I want based on the puzzle pieces that I understand I have, which is exactly what I think, therapy does. Even just talking to good friends where they have good advice and stuff. You don't have to go and pay someone to do those things for you or to get that advice all the time, but sometimes you do. And I think that therapy is a really good tool for that, and that's all that it is. Let me be clear about that. Therapy is only a fucking tool.
Yes.
It is not meant to fix you or to correct. It's not a corrective surgery or it is kind of a preventative measure, because you're given certain things that you can now utilize when you get into scenarios where you feel like your emotions are super peaked. And I love what you had said. Hiding, and I actually, you didn't say that. Hiding behind a label like that doesn't pay your bills. It's not going to work with paying your bills. It's not going to work with treating people right, because, and I will say, like, being a tattooer or being like a self-employed individual, you'll learn real fucking quick, like, to manage yourself, because there's been times where I've woken up and like I've had this thing going on with like my dad or something, and I just feel I'm peaked. Just like I just feel peaked. Like my emotions are peaked, but I have to get ready to go to the shop because we have a client coming at 10. I need to get myself in check, because what business, like, Chris didn't do anything to like manifest this frustration in me or this peaked emotion out of me. His client did. The whole shop didn't do any of that. So for me to go and take my peaked attitude into the shop and then carry that throughout, that's irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a lack of management in myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, tons of people I think do that, where they're just like, this is what I am. I'm just going to roll with it and accept the outcome, versus like managing the outcome. Like you can, we talked about goals a couple weeks ago. You can design the life you want. You can really sit down and create your most beautiful outcome. You just have to execute it. You have to manage it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that it kind of strikes me away, because I don't tell people that I'm bipolar frequently because of that. And like when I tell people I'm like unmedicated also, they're like, well, you seem fine to me. And I'm like, dude, I do a lot of managing. I do a lot of like emotional management and stuff, and it takes up a lot of my time and stuff in my life, because I have to do that, because I don't want to sleep fucking 15 hours a day, or I don't want to just be getting 2 hours of sleep, or these are the decisions I've made, but I'm not going to just like let the fucking dice roll all the goddamn time.
No.
Fuck that. Whoever wants to do that and just live life on a gamble all the time?
You know, I'll just say this. Not even... For everything, there's a season, right? You remember being a kid and thinking some really not good idea shit now was going to be okay? Like jumping off of that,
Right.
touching that, eating that, drinking that. You guys never played and did some really, just as an adult, you could not imagine making that same choice?
Oh, yeah.
Jumping off bridges, dude.
Yeah.
All
Like,
kinds of stuff.
Stupid
Yeah.
shit.
So I think prospectively, for a time, most of us have rolled the fucking dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, to some, we're still rolling dice. To some people who got it different,
Right.
7-year-olds, I can't believe they're not doing this. I can't believe they're doing that,
Yeah.
So, prospectively, but you're right, dude. It's rolling the dice. I think it's a good idea sometimes to roll the dice. Not on things that are going to dramatically change your path, but things that could open new avenues of understanding. Like, I'm not normally a Muslim, but my Muslim friend is like, hey, we don't do this often either. Do you want to come to mosque? Roll the dice. Go for it.
Right.
Is it going to change your mind? Is it going to change other people's relationships of you? I have no idea, but it's different than what you were doing. And it's chance and grace that you had the opportunity to do so. So, it's not always a bad thing. And perspectively, if I told somebody, like, I went to a Klan rally, someone would be like, well, he rolled the dice.
right. Like, shit. That man is open.
Yeah, dude. Right. No, I didn't. But I'm just saying that's an example of, like, how it,
you never know what you're going to get out of it.
Right. But knowing me, if I went to a Klan rally, number one, do you think I'd be safer than most? 2, having bad intentions, or 3, making bad relationships? Any of those things with me?
No.
Right.
No.
Right. So
I feel like it's so funny to think about because you would definitely make friends.
I would make friends.
How would you not?
I would change. Right? What's that dude? Charlie something. Change my mind? Well, I'll do it.
Right.
I will change your mind.
Man.
So, but that's some risky behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
Tennessee
Well, what's also
Mountain Knights.
fucking risky is just having hope. I'll get on that soapbox. I don't even know how much longer we got on this fucking episode, but
I know I bring up the KKK. It's like, we gotta go. We got hours.
Dude, that's funny, dude. But I had a conversation recently with somebody that was about that shit. Maybe not the KKK, but it was just hope. It was just like why have hope? It was, well, what the fuck? What are you waking up for? If you don't hope something good's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Unless you just know something good's going to happen. That's the only thing better than hope is just knowing. Right? And if you don't have either of those, what do you have?
Sometimes hope is so much better.
What, the knowing?
Yeah, because knowing's like, that's it.
Yeah.
Hope is at least the opportunity of better than, dying with hope is better than dying knowing you're going down. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting, it's like terrible to get shot in the back. But, there's something beautiful about your last experience is not knowing.
Dude, that's fucking crazy because I almost feel like you just gave me this thought that, like, if I was on my deathbed and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like dying's not even a thought to me. Like, I can't die, and then you pass away in that thought.
That would be so much peace.
Did you even die?
Did you even die? Your existence, you didn't see
what
it.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, my head's blowing up right now. Are you serious? That's literally... I'm just wondering how many people go that way.
Probably a lot who, if they could go back, probably wish they could have gone that way now.
Probably, because if you're thinking about dying while you're doing it, you're really dying.
Yeah.
But people die every day.
Yeah.
All day, every day, but they're still walking around.
And all of... True. And...
You see what I'm saying? But you see that thought? That's like, if I never think about dying, because, like, bro, we all do it. Okay.
Not one of us make it out, bro.
Never, ever make it out. But if you just, like, are thinking about dying when you're alive, you're already fucking fried.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that they never think about dying and then pass away, did they ever even die at all? They'd probably never even experience what it was like to pass away.
Yeah.
So if they came back and they were trying to tell people were asking, like, what was it like to die? They're like, I don't fucking know. I wasn't thinking about it.
That next spot, whatever happens, is probably going to be pretty dope. I don't, if it's Valhalla, dope.
Fuck
if
yeah,
it's,
dude.
If it's, a different kind of thread of reality that we're ripped in, awesome too. If it's coming back as something, that...
like a fucking raccoon or
yeah,
like a hawk or something like that. That'd be cool.
I just wouldn't want to come back as much in Africa or Australia because that shit's
brutal,
rugged.
rugged
And coming
is
from me, I'm sorry, but it's rugged.
Yeah.
Dude,
Katie was just talking about wanting to move out of the country, and she suggested. I was like, she
Where?
suggested Australia. I was like, do you know how many deadly animals are in Australia?
bro, you can just roll up on a kangaroo that'll box you out.
The hardest things ever created are in the ocean, Africa, and Australia.
Right, bro. The most deadly shit on the planet.
Seriously, the hardest things too. Most of our diamonds and hard materials come from those two places. Well, everything's hardened, like it lasts. It'll no matter what happens. If we're gonna find some shit that made it, they come from there.
Right, dude. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
By the way, do you guys know what Africanized means? I didn't know this.
Africanized?
Africanized.
No.
So if something's Africanized, it means it's larger and more aggressive. And I'm not sure where that originates, but I was always like, what? What does that bee? What that bee come from Africa that make it Africanized? Did they cross pollinate it? Was it bred by Africans? No, it just means they're larger than average with a worse attitude.
Dude, that's funnier. That's funny because we get that perspective in America with like Texas. In Texas, everything's bigger.
Yeah.
Like everything's more aggressive in Texas.
Seriously, but if you said however you'd say
Texasized.
Texasized, right?
It's not as strong
bigger
as
and more
like
racist.
Africanized.
Just plain and simple.
Right. But dude, I mean, you got lions in fucking Africa. You know what I mean? You got elephants. All the trees are bigger. Bro, there's trees that are like larger in circumference than this house in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's like there's things that are what Devil's Tower is in South Dakota or Wyoming, sorry.
I don't think
It
so.
looks like a giant cut down tree, right? There's other things that are like that found in Africa, and they think they are actual old petrified trees that are like literally miles long, and they're just circles that come and they have rings. It's just so odd how much they look like that. But yeah, we've been here very, very short time.
Right.
All kinds of things are possible.
Fucking
I feel
blink
like
of an eye,
recently
dude.
they've discovered a lot of shit that
Yes.
dates like human civilization or just the world way longer than like when I was younger.
Yeah, man. And it's literally been the last 2 years. I saw 3 things specifically that touch on that exact thing. They found mushrooms that are the size of oak trees that we have now that have been petrified. But they're
From back then.
But they're fucking mushrooms.
They're fungal. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just like fungal things. Another one that I
Fungal
saw
forests.
was like they found they were like excavating this beach and found a fucking whale that was mummified, and it was fucking colossal, like a colossal whale, like 4 times larger than any whale you can imagine in our seas now that we watch and see and we interact with. And it's like,
It's
how
wild.
fucking large did the world used to be, with trees to be miles long, mushrooms to be bigger than houses?
Yeah.
Are there any theories on that?
Well, I think I think Graham Hancock, the dude that
He's a mad guy. He's good.
he is
Graham
fucking good.
Hancock.
If there was anything else that I would do in this world besides being a tattoo photographer, it'd be what he's doing, just like a journalistic investigator.
Yeah.
And that dude, his whole premise or his take on all these discoveries we find, because there's tons of shit that we find where like we don't have an answer for it, but there's one answer that fixes everything, like giant trees, insects that are just huge, creatures that are just, by all accounts, just unimaginable. It's that we have amnesia.
Yeah.
There was a certain point in time where you didn't have cognizance to write things down or to take note of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
You do that for enough time, and then one day, just one magical day, you're like, what if we started writing shit down? Because I've had kids, and my grandparents were born from people, and we don't know. It's just all talked about. So they're like, what if we just start writing shit down?
His book is We're the Species with Amnesia, right? Is what, yeah. you're
Yes,
referring
and
to.
it's exactly that. It's that we've, at a certain point, just started writing history down. So there's so much that we just can't possibly account for, because right now we're at a point in science where if it's written down and we can fact check it, then it's real.
But what happens when it gets destroyed after it's written down? That's probably what's happened lots and lots and lots and
so
lots
many
before.
times, because human beings have, now we have evidence to show that we have lived through not one ice age, but multiple, like multiple ice ages, where at certain times, we were just talking about this at dinner the other night, that the human population got down to 600 at one point. The populace of human beings, Homo sapiens at the time, was 600 people. Now we have billions. You know what I mean? But
It's
there
a lot
was
of family.
Dude, it's so much. But it's like that
Cousin.
whole right, dude, we're all fucking cousins in this room, you know what I mean? Some sort of lineage. But yeah, I think it's the whole amnesia thing. Just there was a certain point in time in history where we started to write. It's not that that's when shit started, it's just we started to record, and we don't have shit before that, or what you're saying, because I think it's called
We've
Go
been
Black.
recording, though. Like, you can do Ancestry.com to figure it out. We're not even fucking doing it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
right.
you can find out who your 7th great grandfather was, probably.
Right.
Right? But you don't know.
Yeah.
But you
Until
can find out.
I can.
So
Right.
it's not even like, just because it's written down don't mean anyone's going to know.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
that is
another
super
part.
true.
You know what I mean?
I guess I was meaning like, because I heard at one point the world was just way richer with oxygen and it allowed things
and it
to
allowed
grow
things to grow bigger.
Because like bugs an example, a lot like fauna and trees and shit like that,
It used to be huge.
they breathe through their skin.
Yeah.
So when there's more excess
just
oxygen, they can just breathe more and therefore become larger because there's just more. But there's so many things that, like, I think human beings like to, in a lot of ways, take responsibility for the downfall of the Earth, when really that's cockiness to think that you are what is doing this to the planet when the planet has mega eruptions.
Sells votes, bro.
What's that?
It sells votes, bro.
It
Sure,
does.
yeah.
It actually, dude, that's fucking crazy you say that, because, yeah, like what I'm saying is, like, we have mega volcanoes and massive, like, comets hitting the planet have always done way more to the planet than what we've done. Like, our whole destroying the ozone thing is like, we've barely even done anything to the ozone for the last 100 years that we've been here burning coal.
The Hadron Collider, the HARP technology, and nuclear weapons all could really fuck everything up.
And that's
for
our
us,
first one.
and it would be our fault. But you're right. The world has gotten fucked up by stuff that wasn't us, probably a lot before. We might have done what we were going to do eventually before. We might have nuked our shit
Fucking
and
exactly.
just come back. You don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Who knows? Because if we are, and I love
We were
this
down
concept.
to 600, though.
Yeah.
Whatever it was almost did it.
Right. I don't think, maybe it was us that did it. Who
Could've.
knows? But, I just think it's, if we're looking at where we're at in history right now and shit was to pop off and, like, we lost our whole electrical grid just in the United States, we would lose so much data. So much information just gone immediately, you know what I mean? And if after that, say the whole world just, like, decimated when we went back down to that 600 populace, I'm willing to bet that everything that we know right now is going to be gone.
Well, and it would take another 2,000-3,000 years to get to a car again. To
Right.
earn that knowledge. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And get it recorded. Because in 600 people, there's probably not enough intelligence to design, engineer most things. You know? Cell phones, computers. Those
Right.
aren't going to... No one's going to know how to make one
Right.
again.
The general 600, like, if you just took a random 600 people out of any group of people on the planet right now, I'm willing to bet you're going to maybe have one doctor that's actually crazy.
Might have one tattoo artist.
Right. Yeah, in today's day and age, right. At least we got someone slinging tats.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One
What?
zookeeper, one SeaWorld trainer.
And you're going to have 500 motherfuckers just eating. That's it. Just straight up, just eating and fucking sleeping. That's it.
Oh, Tim, that was Very beautiful.
Well, I guarantee that's what it was like back then too. Motherfuckers be getting mad, like just doing all the work, but you still do it.
Bars.
Right. You still fucking do it because you gotta do it. Ain't no one fucking playing these motherfucking
500 motherfuckers just eat.
It's probably a fact. I guarantee it.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's the world we live in now. You got like the top tier people doing shit, and then there's a lot of people not doing a whole lot.
And they're crying the loudest though.
They are the loudest voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's power in numbers.
Facts. Hey, yeah.
And that's why it's so hard to get the good shit out, because there's always I think maybe not always, I shouldn't say that because it's has a lightweight negative connotation to it, but I feel like the people that are always speaking the truth are always the what's the word I'm looking for? They're not the mass, they're not the whole, they're the
minority.
The minority, the people speaking the real shit at the time that it is needed. They are always the minority, and I feel like that's always been a fact of history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The truth has always been the minority. It's the masses that are the people that are allowing themselves to be taken advantage of. Because I think every person's beautiful. I don't think that any one person or thing that's brought into this world or has existence is narratively wrong or immoral. I think everyone has a positive moral stance when they come into this world. Like you're saying, like people are a clean slate. But I do think that people allow themselves to be manipulated and to sell themselves short, and I think that pays to the whole, because humanity isn't humanity without humans. Not
Facts.
human.
Without the experience.
Yeah.
Of being flawed and,
In triumph. You know what I mean? The triumph over the human condition. I think that's like what makes us all a thing. So you have to have both. But it's beautiful to be sitting in this little rink-a-dink podcast with some very beautiful human beings, I think, in the world. In
this really quaint house with this modest community.
Right.
You know what
Back
I mean?
Back in that cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Right.
Last house, last of the end of the lane, bud.
Right. Magical things happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I reference this book a lot, but Outwitting the Devil. Have you ever read that?
Mm-mm.
But I think there's just so many people that are just looking to just be influenced, and the people doing the influencing really profit a lot, for the masses just kind of floating, drifting, being. So I think there's more people who are seeking guidance or influenced versus being the master of their own mind or free thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good book, man. You should check it out.
I think of all the people we've recommended it to, I think you might get the most out of it.
It's fun to listen to an audiobook, too.
That's what I was going to say. Listen to it. Don't read it. Listen to it.
Yeah.
Because the way that book is, it's like they have different voice actors. A lot of audiobooks, it's just like one guy or a gal or something. This has got multiple people, like reading from different perspectives and
and it's framed in a way that if you're religious, it relates. If you're not religious, it still relates, even though it's outwitting the devil, But it just talks about drifting, and people are just that's really the devil's greatest mission, is just to get people to float through life and not think for themselves, and then it explains all the traps that are in the world that get people to that point
when they're complacent.
Because the devil's not trying to get you to do bad shit. He just doesn't want you to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. There's no narrative saying like I illicitly make you do these horrible things. You just don't do anything good or anything at all.
I think so many people just fall into that trap that that's why they're so loud compared to the people that stand up for what they feel is right. Use their own mind to think for themselves. They're not influenced by the higher ups, whatever you want. It's a good book though.
I need to. Is it Audible?
Yeah.
YouTube, probably both.
I think you listen to it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm so good at just finding shit on the internet and not paying for it.
If I can, I will.
Yeah.
Even if it's some shoddy
Yeah.
Remember when Pirate Bay used to be a thing?
Oh yeah, man,
And
dude.
uTorrent, T-Torrent,
LimeWire.
LimeWire, FrostWire.
Oh yeah, dude.
Definitely got some viruses from LimeWire for sure.
Right.
Back when dial-up was a thing. I lived with my great-grandparents, and we had the dial-up computer for years.
Windows 95.
Fuck yeah, baby. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah.
We got Windows fucking 14 now or whatever.
Is that what it is?
I don't fucking know.
So,
Oh man.
I did want to kind of pick your brain on now you're doing a lot of traveling we already talked about, and you're doing the Holy Trinity World Tour, right? I would love to kind of hear what that's like, man.
It's amazing. It's really it's so different though. So I'll just preface, these are all, I was the first American. I'm now one of 3, which is really cool, really special.
Yeah.
Really, really special. But because everyone's on a visa, everyone kind of has a different kind of code. Like we have to, like when we're out together, we ride everywhere together. We meet at 8 o'clock for breakfast, and then we go to the show an hour before the doors open. All together, right? Because if anything happens to anybody or anybody acts out of line, it affects everybody because they're all on visas, right? So that's really different, like structure-wise. But then, like, as they're all, you know, not bragging. I'm working with some of the best dudes in the freaking world. You know what I mean? And, you know, blessed to be building relationships with them. They all like me, you know, not at first, you know. I'm just that loud American who's kind of like really hugging everybody. And then they're like, oh, you can tattoo? That's okay. He's cool. He's cool. He's cool.
Right.
So, yeah, it's really great. It's a different structure than I've ever been used to. Different than I would govern myself. But because of what, you know, it's what they got to do to make sure their ducks are always in a line. And, you know, yeah, we all wear the same shit. We have uniforms. It's cool. You can tell who we are, which kind of is not cool if other people are haters. Because, you know, like, because we're known, like, as a team to just shut down whole shows. Like, first, second, third, best of day, first, second, third, best of day, first, second, third, best of day, first, second, third, best of show. Like, we've done nut stuff. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina. 38 awards.
God damn.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, for 12 of us.
That's wild.
It was nuts. And it's, you know, how do you say it? Like, I'm not, like, proud in the sense of I did this. I'm proud in the sense of I get to be on this ship, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm getting better, you know, not saying that I'm, you know, great, but I'm getting better. I am improving every freaking day because I got a different kind of fire under my ass working with my friends, George, Roman, Ricardo, you know, Lesio. They're all just nuts, doing circles around me fast, bro. Whole sleeve day. And it's like what you see.
What the
You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. It's like,
that's hard.
and I watch them, and I'm just like, I don't know how you're gonna finish this. That, you know, at the rate you're going, go back. It's like they got that much more done in an hour and a half, and it's like, oh my God, he's really gonna do it, and it looks amazing, you know. So yeah, they're really, I'll say this, compared to me, or like probably you, their critiques, for the most part, seem incredibly rude. Culturally, Europeans and are just they speak different plane, or it translates plainer, So it's like it comes off as really rude,
Right.
And like that's something like they're not. They love me. It's just say,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Thought it was a good idea. I would have done this. Oh, that's dope. Why didn't you show me that? So,
Where were you at?
yeah, but we all want well for each other. So, most of them are not really good at English. I'll say none of them talk while they tattoo. They're very, but I do. I'll just describe. I'm the dude on the team, doesn't wear headphones, still builds a relationship with his client. Anybody who walks by my stuff and says something about my banner, I say thank you. I hope you have a good day. You need anything, here's how you can get a hold of me. Still tattoo, still, finish my tattoo. Doing my best. These guys are headphones on. They don't look away. They piss once. They drink one bottle of water. They might eat some pistachios. And, yeah, but they're done tattooing, do a whole sleeve before 8 o'clock
That's
for
crazy.
judging.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Makes me feel incredibly slow.
Me too.
And I fucking work my hardest, too.
And it's not about how long it takes. Because it don't matter if it would have been better if it took longer. Because that's what you should have done, right? That's the choice you should have made for you and your client. You're not going to know how good you can get if you keep stopping before you get that good. Or you learn that new trick. So, but, yeah. So, but it's a blessing. They take me everywhere. Not talking about business arrangements, but I'm taken care of.
That's dope.
It's,
Yeah.
they, if I'm not driving, they'll get my plane ticket, whatever it is.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How'd you get connected with this tour?
I was beside them in Kansas City, and I swept the whole category, and they couldn't believe it. Because they were all putting in on it, too. So it was kind of like... And I socialize, so of course we were friends.
Yeah.
But then they're like, hey, if he's going to beat us, he might as well be on our team. We should bring on Bryn as the first American.
That's
Bryn the
dope.
American who can't be beat. That's what they called me. Clearly, I'm not unbeatable. I get beat all the time. I'm not that good. I just got lucky. Entered the right stuff with intention of doing well because I did well on the tattoos. But that's literally, yeah, I got 4 awards that show. 3 of them were first, second, and third female black and gray. And, they asked me to come do a guest spot in Europe. Said for sure. The owner got a hold of me and said, hey, the manager said a lot of good things. Would you like to join us on tour? If so, I'll have another manager get a hold of you, and we can work out some logistics. And boy.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, man.
It's wild.
Talk about a path changer right there.
Yeah.
I
was going to do less shows this year because of requests from people who expect things from me differently. And because, I was the first American to even get this it's not something I could easily, for any reason not do. Like, even if I'm unhealthy, heal on your way, kind of thing. This is a life-changing thing for me, and I'm going to treat it as such.
Yeah.
So...
Went from not traveling very much to being on a strict regimen.
Yeah, and I mean, they got me. We're 2-3 shows a month all year.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so I only get to do like 4 personal shows this year, because I can't
book around it.
No.
Yeah, but I'm sure like moving into next year and the following years, like those invites and those shows that you do get to be a part of, will just be better opportunities. I'm sure.
Absolutely, and I'll be better for the journey I'm on to get there.
Yeah.
Because man, they're all good. I literally feel like I'm the worst guy on the.
It's fucking right place to be.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
There's 42 of us, and I'm 42 or 41 out of them.
Getting 42 tattooers at breakfast by 8 o'clock. How fucking hard is that?
No, because we're all on. Okay, so we only do 12 or 14 per show.
Gotcha.
Right.
I was gonna say
So that's how we can all, because we're all, it's a lot harder to get dudes, from Lithuania to, and I say that because my friend Mindungus, he says Lithuania is where he's from, but it took him like 26 hours just to get to the city that we were tattooing in the next day. Right? Not everybody can do that as consistently. So I'm ending up doing probably more shows as a single artist for them, which is even better for me.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Just because it's harder for them to get here and do it, And when they're here, sometimes they're here for 3 weeks, and then they don't want to come back the rest of the year because their family or whatever or whatnot they got going on. And, I hear getting into America and the way we treat our foreign brethren is not good. Like, they really hate it. They really don't get respected. They get held up in customs for hours. They get their phones gone through. Like, why are you here? Cross-checking everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's wild what I hear that they go through, and it sucks. There's a couple times where 2 artists got sent back.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
But
And-
that's just wild to me because I feel like right now, this point in time, the news is making it sound like it's easier to get in the country than ever.
No.
And the amount of immigrant, well, maybe it's a difference because it's work visa and you're coming here for business versus like just trying to come here to live.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different.
Well, it probably is because they want to make sure that any money they make gets taxed
Yeah.
and doesn't go back over
Yeah.
there. And also the whole Ukraine-Russia thing. Really, because a lot of these guys are, Latvia, Poland, Lithuania, Russia. They're in that kind of, they're painted under one flag kind of thing, as far as I hear through like entering the country, the kind of interrogation, the kind of worry that TSA has with them, and their intentions, which is wild, because I'm not trying to sound like politically ignorant, but I don't know that my Russian tattoo artist friend would be a threat,
Yeah.
Right.
on a spy level, kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of, so, and I'm saying he's not. It's just the fact that TSA is treating him like that, and that's wild. I feel bad for him, a lot. It makes me scared to travel outside and then come
Right, to go
back.
anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then come back, and they're like,
"What'd you do?"
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just tattooing. Oh, where you?
Oh, yes.
Right.
yes, exactly. So, but, yeah.
Well, for real, y'all. I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to pee super.
Go to the
fucking
bathroom.
bad.
Yeah, no
Like,
worries.
so fucking bad. So don't wait on me. Oh.
Cultural wise, how's the tattoo industry different? I mean, how's it compared to here in the States?
They like it more
Over here or over there?
over here.
Yeah.
Over here, culture, I'll say economically, people pay 2 to 3 times the amount.
Yeah.
There are not people who do the. Everybody in Europe's kind of really good, or they don't tattoo, right? And they're all kind of really fine art, really good. So, and I'm saying like there's street shops for sure, but more, the ratio's not like here,
Yeah.
right? So they get treated better here because it's not as common to be that good.
Gotcha.
Right. So, like, do you watch the Milan tattoo? Did you see that? The tattoo
No,
convention?
I've heard of it. I
Okay.
didn't see it.
That best in show, that best of anything is different than, it's, like that's what
top
we
of
should
the
be,
world
we should be
class
studying
shit.
that for the next 2 years. Cause,
Where do you get access to that?
just the internet, Milan Tattoo Convention.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's on, but it's insane. World Famous was sharing a bunch of stuff because they, they have a really big European pro team. So I believe I was probably seeing a lot of it was through my affiliation with World Famous. But so they do the stuff that they do over there, but over here they get celebrated for it not being normal. They're foreign, so they're exotic, so they get, better. Normal people are intrigued by them, so they get that kind of interaction. And then economically, right? So it's like there's celebrity that's exotic, that has something that other people don't have, and they make a lot of money doing it. They really like it here.
Yeah.
I do believe the communication or language barrier does suck. It holds, I would say, they would have even a better experience if they could, get the full enrichment of communicating. And not all of them. A lot of them can understand everything real well, but some are just, they're not here for how well they can, communicate, but how well they can art.
Yeah.
And, it's great.
Why do you think the difference in there being way more artists that are just fucking really dope, and then like the America where there's just more of a, like, there's a lot more tattooers but less dope artists?
I think a combination of two things. One, some of the oldest, most beautiful pieces of art are even just the architecture and the structures that they grow up in.
Yeah, so
right?
The standard is just extremely high from the beginning.
Yeah, they kind of live in a different artistic environment where, like, rural America produces a lot of street shops, but not always, because we kind of came out of that, but with a desire. And then also that whole, what's that kind of style? It's like in Russia where it's really flat and almost looks like prison. And it's not tattoos. I'm talking architecture. It's called something.
I'm not sure.
But because their environment is so dismal, they have a hyper attraction to creating something that is the opposite of that. You know what I mean? Incredibly dynamic, high impact, beautiful, refined. Tim, do you know the name of that kind of style of architecture that is prominent in Russia? It's got a really gnarly name.
Ooh.
It sounds like a hardcore metal band.
Was it like, I don't want to say like gothic.
It's not gothic. It's like something. It almost sounds like oh man. If you find it over there, Jamie. We got Jamie from. No, it's Gypsy. I was gonna say Joe Rogan. Can you play that?
Right. No, I can't think of it. Yeah, I should be the guy to know that, though, with as much as I like architecture, photography, and shit. But
it's like Crush, but not Crush, but something like that. Like it means, but a lot of people, yeah. Those are the only two things I can think of. 'Cause like how, I grew up in a place like a really rural environment, not a lot of stimuli, not a lot of art on the walls, not murals kind of stuff. What I was looking for to set me off would really set me off, and vice versa. I think if you come from a place where you just live in an art museum, your base level of understanding, of appreciating or want to creating is different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Makes a lot of sense.
Like people who go to art school before they tattoo, their designing and their composition is ultimately different.
Yeah.
Would it be Byzantine or Baroque?
No. Maybe Broke. But Broke sounds French.
It is French.
Yeah. It's a kind of guitar.
Byzantine seems more that, but I hear that word and I'm like, that sounds right. Sounds
I'm
fucking.
reading and educating myself, so I get repetition.
Neoclassical eclecticism in Art Nouveau. Signature style.
Modern. Well, it would be Soviet though. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you so like how much do the grades push average out over there? Like, cause here I feel like we have a culture we talked about earlier. Like, everyone's welcome. We're not gonna like this is just who you are. We're not gonna we're gonna accept you. That's kind of the culture here.
Mhm.
Do you feel like over there they're like, no, you suck. Get the fuck out of the industry, kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah. For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's almost like in some cultures it's like a shame to not be great, so you better not show it till you're great.
yeah.
It's kind of like that too. You know what I mean? Like Japanese master tattoo artists, they don't show you shit until they're masters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. There's absolutely no like ugly foot forward.
But here in
first.
America, it's like day one shit. It's like,
Yeah.
let's show the world.
It's like, hey, watch me struggle and grow.
yeah,
And that's cool.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong with either way. It's just, I think it almost makes everybody, like, you don't see that there are bad tattoo artists attempting really amazing stuff over there. You know, you don't see people dropping balls. Plain and simple. You know?
No, they're
I
all
know.
at 10. When I see people like artists online and I'm just like
it's
scrolling,
like, fuck.
I'll be like scrolling and I stop and I'm like, oh, this artist is fucking dope. And then I go look at the caption and it's like 9 times out of 10, it's like not even English.
Yeah,
You know, it's always someone like in fucking Mexico or someone overseas in Europe or something. It's just like
it's doing
they're just
astounding work.
crazy. Like they're Roman or something. Of course they're fucking Roman. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just a Greek god tattooer over there. You know, but of course, like you're saying, we're only seeing like the peak of what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's super funny because I feel like there's a lot of people in America that have that European take. Like, I'm not gonna fucking do it unless it's like just right. And I think it's like this trickle system of like teaching how to not be that for the American cause of that or like the American culture of that. And that works for us. Like you said, that's cool. You know, like watch me grow type deal. Well, it's like, it's not like they're not growing over there or they're not, it's
No.
not like they're not doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know, they have their way of doing it and this whole cultural perspective and they're all still fine.
Yeah.
You know, if not, maybe even they're just cleaner over there. You know,
They do have different laws health-wise with, like, you can't use certain colors. Like, the European Union of Tattooing is different. The style of architecture, though, I was right. It was brutalist. You heard of it?
Brutalist. I have, yeah.
Brutalist. Okay. Brutalist architecture. That's the kind I was talking about. That's like in...
So you're saying that because everything's that style that they want to produce super crazy shit because the world around them is
Yes.
very minimal. Or,
I would think.
yeah.
You know, that's like when you go to places like, I'll just say Phoenix, Arizona, and you see the mosaics, right? This land is beautiful, but it's kind of singular tone where these mosaics are. All these teals and purples and roses and salmons and all, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you want to create the environment you wish you had.
Sure.
Right? Like, you
Yeah.
don't see jails decorated with jail art that looks like more jail.
Yeah.
It looks like not jail.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
People make their houses look like they live on a beach.
Right.
You know what I mean? So their experience is different. So, and I think a lot of that could make people yearn to create that. That's just maybe a
Yeah.
yeah. I should ask them.
Are there anything about the tattoo culture over there that you think that we should implement here in the States?
You know, I think the more I tattoo with them, maybe I'll figure it out. I do really like the whole community thing that we have together. Like, there's no way that... Okay, I'll just say when someone comes up to talk to one of us, it's not like everyone else is like, oh, let them talk. It's, what do you got? You know, everybody's... It's like like, we're all going to share. We're all going to share this experience. We're going to share this conversation. We're going to share this meal. You know, we're going to share this hotel. You know, it's nothing separate. Nothing separate. And even if it's like, well, these 6 wanted Waffle House baked beans, and these 6 wanted a salad, right? So it'll make it work, but we'll eat together, right? So, and I don't think we do that here. I think we do that socially to, like, feel cool. Or to, like, how do you say it? Like, network. We network here. They don't. If that makes sense. Their networking is how, because you know how I'm so extroverted, right? In my action, I'm Americanized, right? So that's why I am so different, and they're very much, well, you come to us and we'll tell you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Like, let's just get good enough to where these networks will approach us versus us trying to reach out to them.
yes, we don't have to say that we're this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
You'll come to us, and then we'll all hear you. You know.
Yeah.
So, versus like, let's say 6 of us go to a show. We're all going to have different intentions on who we're trying to meet up and buddy and schmooze and see again kind of thing. It's different. It's different for them. They're happy to see everybody, but they're not going to kind of seek, because, you know, they're trophy hunters. They're head hunters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Seems like from the posts I make, there's a fucking mission to be had for sure.
Yeah. And, you know, the reputation is nuts. As soon as I put on that jersey, I had a bunch of people that are my friends. I won't say haze me or razz me, but like, so you think you're that now? You know what I mean? Like, you think you're special now? You are, but do you think you are? You know what I mean? Are you going to be a dirtbag because no one gets on this? That's, you know, there's 42 people in the world that wear that shirt.
Yeah, it's
You're
fucking
one of
awesome,
them.
dude.
The first
awesome.
American at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah.
I think, if you guys don't mind if I interject a little bit, I think it's because the reason they looked at Bryn the way they did is because when you look at art over there, art is in everything in their life. From the time they wake up and they're born, they wake up and they live through life, they go to school, they go to the restaurants, they go to worship, they do everything, and it's art. Art is in everything. And no one over there is afraid to express themselves. And people in the United States are really afraid to express themselves and to open themselves up and be open to new experiences. We're also confined, and Bryn is not that. Bryn is a very open and expressive person, and he sees greatness and good in everything. And I think that is what's missing, a big part of that, from tattooing and art in this country, is that art is one of the most ultimate forms of expression. All the things you can't say, you can draw about. All the things you can't think about, you can paint about. You can do all these things, and they live that every day. So when they come over here and they see the people over here, they're like, none of these people know how to express themselves in the right way. Or they're afraid to express themselves. And Bryn is not one of those people.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's a beautiful, like, being able to, just from a cultural standpoint, I think that you hear, do you hear this all the time? You know, like, people, like, it's almost like a funny critique of artwork where they look at something like, well, you're not telling me who you are. Like, I feel nothing from this. You know what I mean? And it's clearly, I think people will bust their ass on something. It's like, but I put all this into it, and I did this, and I did the right things here. The color's right. Like, I did it right, but it's like, I don't fucking feel anything from it. And it's like they're so adamant about, like, taking a piece of themselves and putting in it. Like, if you didn't put, like, a chop off a piece of your soul.
They're looking to get the wrong things out of it.
Right.
Just like when people are, like when you were talking about earlier, if you're giving and expecting something in return, then you're doing business. You're not being kind.
It's transactional.
Yeah.
You're not being kind. You're doing business.
That's
right.
So you got it's about what you're looking for in it as well. So.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry.
Awesome. No, it's,
man, that was awesome.
I wish you had a mic.
For
you
real,
know?
dude. We're gonna have to. I'll
got a
cut
good
like that
voice.
section out, and
Yeah.
I'll just like amp the volume up so we can get you in there.
I tried to turn my mic that way to maybe catch some of that, but yeah, that was good stuff, man.
Bryn is an amazing person, man. I tell you, I'll be honest. I've been doing this business for a long time. I've been tattooing since 1987 and professionally since '92, and it wasn't but a couple of years ago. I won't get into it, but I got screwed real bad, and I about lost everything, and I was just short of giving it up. And I called Bryn up, and he was like, you know what? Just get your butt up here, and we're gonna do this. You know, you're not gonna You're not going to sit in your house and you're not going to wallow in your sadness and your misery. You're going to get your ass up here and we're going to do shit. And, you know, it's not a new fire. It's just a refurbiance of an old fire that I had that was almost gone because the ambition was gone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and being was surrounding myself with different people, and you know, again, you know, I give accolades to my friend 100% because he puts so much out that you cannot. You have to literally physically pick shit up and put it in the way to not absorb
Right.
what he puts out, and he wants you to get better good enough, and wants you to be better enough that you don't really have a choice but to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
That's
we
good
need
stuff.
that. I think, you know, I know we asked you what you think the American culture needs a little bit more of, but just listening to that, I feel like the American culture needs more openness, and also like not to feel so daunted and heavy by putting so much of yourself into what you're doing. Don't be afraid to put your all into it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be your last client. It only will be if you desire it to be. But who's a fucking quitter? I'm not no fucking quitter. You know what I mean? I don't see no quitter on these couches right now.
You can't get everything out of it if you don't put everything into it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't do anything half-ass.
That's a fact, son.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, so if I go, you know, however I'm going to go, it's fast and wet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, baby. That's right.
My wife always gives me a hard time because house chores I neglect. Like I just don't do them because me personally, I feel like a lot of them are a waste of time. But she's like, "Babe, you just need to do this," and then I'll finally do something, and I fucking go all out, and I'll spend the whole day on it. She's like, "What the fuck?" You know, it's like I just can't do bare minimum. Like
It's
if we're gonna
not
do a
worth
project,
that to me.
you're right.
Right.
I'm gonna spend
it's
way
all
too much
that.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think that more people definitely need that, you know. There's a whole lot of people in the industry right now that are just in it for the lifestyle or the coolness of it, because it seems like, I mean, to me it is the fucking coolest gig in the world, you know.
It's sexy.
But
I mean, it's
you know-
glamorous.
It is.
You don't know how many like people are in my chair and they're like, "Man, I think I could do this." You know, like I could see myself being a tattooer.
I hope you try really hard.
You
'Cause
know.
you'll get a lot further than if you don't.
Right.
Right.
That's all. It's not like
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, unfortunately, we make things that are incredibly hard. Took years to get the ability to do. We make it look fucking easy,
Yeah.
Bubba.
Yeah.
In the real grand scheme, as much as, what's his name? Bob Ross. You know,
Yeah.
we, you know, to people, we are that.
Yeah.
They look at that shit. Well, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
so, why wouldn't they feel
Yeah.
like, I bet I could do that. You
Right.
know?
I
Right.
don't really like my job. I might just give it up for you know.
Yeah, I would give up your job. I would give up most other priorities if you feel like
Yeah.
you want to get somewhere here really quick.
Yeah.
Say
I-
goodbye to a lot of the friends you had. You're gonna have to have a lot of hard conversations with your family.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, a lot of hard conversations with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a guy come in the shop who was wanting to apprentice, and he's a pretty good artist, versed in the art community, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for something maybe I could do part-time." And I'm like, well, that ain't going to happen here.
Not for
you know?
me, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this shit
I
ain't
fucking put
part-time.
everything I got into this.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I think about. You know, unless I go fishing. You know, I don't do anything else besides fish and my family. And outside of that, it's fucking what I'm creating, you know. I don't do a lot of like physical art.
Mhm.
I really, tattooing is the only medium I use. But even if I'm not physically creating, like in my head, I'm trying to visualize new pieces, how I'm going to progress, what can I do better, you know. I feel like I'm very good at that, like visualizing things.
Yeah. How long's the longest you think you could go without tattooing before it would actually start bucking with you?
Well, when COVID happened, I went 3 months.
Yeah.
We actually shut down. I went 3 months, and I was ready to get back for sure.
Mhm.
You know, There's seasons. There's certain times where I'm like, man, I could really take off a month, 2 months, and be okay. Maybe because I've been fucking grinding it, and I'm just kind of in a rut or overwhelmed,
and done 3 months of work in a month and a half.
Yeah. But today, and I've got my schedule fairly balanced. I work 3 days a week. I'm off 4, but I really do 3 12s essentially, and we do the podcast a couple other days a week. But so I don't really feel like I can get burnt out. Like I haven't really felt that in a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes on those marathon days, it towards the end, especially if I'm not like fully, like if I feel like my piece isn't living up to my own expectations, I feel it really hard then.
Yeah.
But
because like even if we finish today, it's not done yet, kind of thing. Like
yeah. But in the past, I've definitely experienced work 5-6 days a week where I'm like, fuck, I got a tattoo in 3 days. Damn, But I've been really stoked with where my art's gone lately, and that's I've got a huge fire under my ass, mainly from those.
Dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks. Our guest coming in Tuesday, he messaged me the other day, and he's like, man, it's like recently you've taken it to a whole nother level, and that's what I really like. I want to compete with those dudes in Europe and like some of those fucking monster. And that's who I've been watching. That's who I've been studying and trying to emulate. You know. Because I want to be. For the longest time, I've got, dude, you're the best in Springfield, which is like, fuck, like what? Like that almost hurts.
Change that to the Midwest.
Yeah, well, and recently I've been getting a lot of best in Ohio, which was a big goal for a while. But like, I want to be world class. Like I want to run with the top, and so I've been putting a lot of focus into that area. But I haven't been around enough people that do that. I see it, but like I think there's some pieces of my process that I'm just missing in the creation aspect of things that will make the designs come out better. Different steps that I could take to add just a little bit of extra easiness or just make that process just easier.
Right.
So that's
flow.
That's what I've been really trying to figure out. But
flow means so many different things now in tattoos. It's not just like the appearance of it. It's sometimes the process of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How smooth is that? How much effort or brain power are you putting into this part? Is it wearing you down before you even get started?
Exactly.
By the time I start, am I already fucking cooked just trying to get the stencil on?
Swear. Oh my God. Okay, hear me out. If I can't get the tattoo stencil on right in the first 5 times, I'm literally fighting it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to me. If I do complete it, it wasn't right. The universe is telling me this is not right. If you 5 times don't think it's okay with what you're doing, scrap it.
Yeah.
Start over. Different design. Maybe a different person. Like, it's tough. Thank God I don't deal with that very much, but I really have. I have it shows. I've given deposits back. I've been like, hey, until this point, like right now, it was really going to work out. And I'm not saying you shouldn't get this tattoo. I'm saying I can't give you what my intention is. Yeah. And for both of us, my heart not wanting to shortchange you because you got a subpar. I know it would be subpar from me, right? But you're paying full price for it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
So
just being an authentic person, you don't want to go against your own morals.
Yeah, and with their best interest, there will be a maybe different time, person, whatever. It will always be in flow.
Yeah, I had a conversation with a guy today through text, and he sent a couple emails through. I didn't get back to him right away. He called the shop, sent me another Facebook message, and just the first, it was just red flags. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna push through. Send him a message, got another red flag back, and then finally, he, trying to buck the system all the way through. Okay, Chris, what am I trying to live into? What am I trying to create? This clearly isn't the tattoo that's going to help me get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the final straw, because I have my prices listed on my website, and I told him how many sessions. And he's like, well, what about cost? I'm like, okay, look, I'm going to give you the cost, but then at the end, I told him, I was like, hey, look, this just ain't for me. I don't want to move forward. But so that was me kind of trying to remind myself, okay, this isn't serving me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously I want to do the best job I can, but I don't feel like I'm going to move into this process in the right state of mind. I'm going to come into this day that I'm going to spend all day with you, probably 2 or 3 days, and I'm going to have uneasiness the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I just fuck that.
Which is gonna affect what you create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, it's tough.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Being an artist is tough.
Yeah.
When your canvas is something that
Lives and
feels.
breathes and feels
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
A little sleepy.
No, I've had a amazing day
Yeah.
so far.
That's awesome.
Woke up in my camper. Got an RV at the cabin. Stayed in it last night.
Yeah.
It's
Where
nice.
at?
Corunna, Indiana.
Nice. Is that far from where you work?
It's about an hour north. I'm in Corunna. I'm 20 minutes from Michigan, and 40 minutes from Ohio.
Nice.
And then my tattoo studio is about an hour from Ohio. Hour and 20 minutes.
Nice.
So.
Oh yeah, man.
Sick, man.
You travel a lot in it?
Yeah, kind of. When I tattoo in Montana, and I tattoo out there for like 2-3 months, a year. It's because the whole family goes. It's over fall break or summer break. And yeah. So.
We're at in Montana.
Billings. The owner of Forget Me Not Tattoo is Whitney Donahue, one of my dear sweet friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We went out there. We got married at Glacier.
Okay.
Montana is beautiful.
It is. Fishing out there is amazing. It's
I-
hard.
I didn't get to, but
It's hard.
do you like fly fishing?
No, I don't. I like fly fishing at like twilight hours, top water, offshore bass. It's best. But like, no, like goldeye, lake trout, kind of stuff. So like spinning rod,
Yeah.
spinners,
Hell yeah.
faux roe, shrimp, frozen shrimp.
Yeah, I didn't get experience no fishing out there. I wanted to, but
you're married.
yeah, and I was like, she's not the biggest fisherman, so I was
Yeah.
like, we might as well just enjoy, But plus, I didn't have a single fucking clue about what I was doing, so I'd
Mhm.
probably be out there for hours and not have any luck,
Yeah.
and then be frustrated. And
It is so
yeah.
hard. Because I'm a lake fisherman. Like, I've been fishing my whole life and consider myself good. If there's fish in it, I'll get them out.
Yeah,
Rivers are...
whole different beast.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. In, like, I've been out in Montana probably a total of 9 months, like, of real time fishing, 1 to 3 days a week. I caught 17 fish.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good.
It sounds
Those
hard,
lake trout
man.
get fucking huge, though, don't they?
They do. I haven't caught one. I caught a rainbow. I was going for lakes because they get
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Tiger trout.
The trout in general are beautiful fish.
They are. They're very sensitive. They're very in tune fish. Like, they can feel you on the bank when that water and stones and all kinds of shit's running through it and ripping. But they can tell where you are on shore.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've always been a cat fisherman. I did bass fishing a lot when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
and then all my gear, I had some really nice gear. Well, I'm pretty sure it got sold. I lost it, and I just have never sought out bass fishing again.
Yeah.
I would really love to get into muskie fishing though. We got a lake here in Springfield that is loaded with them, and they're
Alright.
just fucking monsters. But I've been fishing less with the kiddo and trying to work and stuff. But
What kind of gear do you use for catfish?
a lot of like
Blues? Bullheads?
yeah,
channels?
blues, a lot of blues, shovelhead, surf rods, bait caster kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of shad. Go throw my net and get shad and bluegills, all that shit. But
chunk them.
yeah, a lot of the times, but it's fun. You know, I love doing it. One of our last guests, it was a fishing story where I forgot the consultation. I'm out fishing with my gear on and shit, and did the consultation while I was out there. But yeah, I love it, man. Want to get more into it, but
Can you go jugging here? Is that legal?
I've never experienced it here in Ohio.
Okay.
One trip to Tennessee, though, and dude was like, "Oh man, we should," like jugging. You just
tie it to a jug, let it out there. The fish won't take it down. You got to fish next day normally on that jug.
Yeah.
Or next hour, whenever you go check it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've never did that. I've always thought about the noodling too, the hand fishing for catfish.
Scares me. I'll drown. I'll try and pull myself up and sink in the mud. You know what I mean? Like bury myself.
Yeah.
Bro, you say hand catching catfish and
like
shit?
you're just like slowly going around the creek and looking for like holes and little caves where they can hide in. You just stick your hands in there, let them bite it, and you fucking grab the motherfucker and pull it out.
Y'all got me so fucked up because listen,
Stupid.
like I love nature and stuff like that. I love being out in nature. I love going on hikes and all that stuff. You got me fucked up on fishing because the last time I went fishing was like fucking probably like 6 years ago or something. But I caught a fucking catfish. It's probably like this big, and I was taking off the hook, and I got stuck with one of those things. I had gloves on and shit too, and the thing got all the way down to my ring finger to the point now where like I can't remember even which finger it is. Oh, it's this one because you can see the scar right there. It got down on my finger, and like if I press on it right now, I can feel it like.
Yeah,
like
those little channel cats,
dude,
too, they'll get you.
Because it was out at the reservoir.
Yeah.
Dude, and I can, like, when I press right there, I can feel, like, the tip of my finger right here popping. Like, something weird. So, fuck fish, man. I don't fuck with this fish at all, bro.
I love eating fish.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
You like cooking it?
Yeah.
Like, you catch it and cook it?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's a whole spiritual thing, you know? You get a different gratitude, you know? You
I would
serve
do that.
yourself.
Yeah.
If I knew that I was going to go on, like, I'm going to catch one fish, and I'm going to fucking skin it, I'm descale it, all that shit, and I'm going to cook it and prepare it, like that, I would find a lot of, like you said, spiritualness to that.
You taste it different because you know like there's some subtle hints. You'll be like, well, I smell the water that it came out of. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's just the experience of, like, how you got it can really change about how, like, the rest of the way you take it in. Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's awesome. When you check the camera, what kind of time we working with?
Oh, shit, we had 20 minutes when I looked at it.
So
it was probably close now. Yeah.
With all the things that we talked about today, if we're going to be wrapping up here, is there anything that we like to do? Like, is there anything you leave the people with? Something that really stood out to you or stands out to you, that a piece of advice or something that you could leave the folks with here?
If everybody could do themselves a favor and their friends a favor and their community a favor, make sure you try and check your balances on what kind of weaknesses you carry around in your heart. It's not cool looking at beautiful things like they're ugly because you let them hurt you because of just a weird place you are in your life.
Yeah.
That's about it. You know what I mean? Like, everything kind of falls off of that, whether it's jealousy, regret, intolerance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, try and figure out a way to not be that person to somebody else.
Yeah. There was something that I wanted to speak on earlier, but I didn't mention. But it's just forgiveness. I feel like that's a huge factor there.
Absolutely.
And it's something that's hard to practice, But that's been something that I've tried to really hold on to, because I feel like in order to let go a lot of that stuff, you got to be able to forgive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people who forgive are normally forgiven and get a walk in a different kind of grace. than others that are really holding themselves back and holding other people accountable for shit that ain't their problem or their fault.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, to really pull it full circle, you know, it's almost like you break down the word forgive is forgive. I'm going to forgive this, you know, and you said givers get.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
I like that.
You know, the hardest person to forgive is often the first person you have to forgive, and that's yourself.
Yeah. Man.
God damn.
The first person you have to forgive, and is often the hardest to forgive, is yourself. Spoken by our man Gypsy here, and I think that's so true on so many levels.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
is.
But yeah, man, you wanna take us out here?
Yeah. Bryn, dude, fucking thank you so much for, you know, spending this day with us and
Making the drive out. It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
oh yeah, absolutely. And you too, Gypsy. You know, I know you didn't have a mic, man, but I fucking really wish you did. at
Yeah, because
certain
I
points.
feel like you got a lot of good shit you could say, man.
Yeah,
It
dude.
does.
And you know, don't want to speak on you guys' behalf, but I would absolutely love to have you guys back at some point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just bullshitting, you
Yeah,
know,
for
talk
sure.
more good stuff. Can't get
Yeah.
enough of it, right?
Yeah.
You know,
And definitely keep talking more consistently after this period. Just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
right?
I'm going to check up on my dude, Tim, dude.
Yeah, man. And I don't do that enough. You know, I meet a lot of wonderful people. Just being in this industry, not being a tattooer, I'm very blessed and thankful that I even get a shot to speak with anyone at all, you know, ever, or if get anyone's, you know, time. But I could be a lot better about connecting with people, especially on this podcast, you know, because connected with a lot of awesome people like
Mhm.
yourself doing this. So,
I'm so blessed that you guys are doing this. It means a lot. Number one, it means a lot to me that you guys wanted to have me on. It's incredibly flattering. But thank y'all for giving to a lot of seekers out there who need and want this gift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't get to be here in this beautiful podcast studio, but they get to hear your beautiful words and the intentions above that. For, you know, the intentions you guys have are great, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for
Yeah,
having me
man.
on the show.
That means a lot, man.
yeah, man, that
means
does mean a lot because I think, I mean, me and Chris say this a lot on the show that we don't want to come off being the guys. You know, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't want to wear that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Being the guy that's got all the right answers, but I'm trying to find as many of them as I can and share them with
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah.
that's my fucking intent is if I can just be the middleman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, where can they find you on socials, man, if they want to connect with you after the show?
I'm Bryn Beer, BrynBeer on Facebook. I'm Bryn Beer, Bryn Beer _official on Instagram and TikTok. I have a amazing manager who takes care of a lot of my conversing. Her name's Raquel. If you guys do reach out to me, you're probably going to speak to her first. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, wants to shoot the shit, you know, wants to see me at a show, get a hold of me. I'll look forward to meeting you and saying hi and, you know, getting a hug in for sure.
Hell yeah, you can expect that if you see
Yeah.
Brandon in person.
That's awesome, man.
Definitely gonna get a hug. But as far as, you know, More Than Tattoos go, you guys know you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Find us on your favorite platforms. We also have a Patreon. Go and watch some extra content there. Small update. I think we are going to be releasing more YouTube content than focusing on the Patreon the whole time coming up. So if you haven't already, hit that fucking subscribe button, the bell, turn on notifications to stay notified when we fucking drop new shit. Because if you guys are anything like me, I am subscribed to a lot of people, so I get a lot of notifications and shit. So if you don't subscribe, you're not gonna know when you get the shit. You know what I mean? So subscribe. I got nothing else, man. It was just a great night. Very,
Yeah.
very thankful to have you guys on with us, and you know, look forward to the next fucking show. But we're gonna be connecting before that. We
Absolutely.
need to be talking more. You know what I mean? I'm constantly hearing Gary Vee tell me to send people messages, and I just don't. You know what I mean? Because I'm always thinking that intent thing. Like, what's my intent? I just want to talk
Just
to
say
people.
what's up,
I
dude.
just want to reach out.
You want to say hi? Say hi. I want to say hi. I'm gonna say hi.
That's a
Yeah.
fact. Need to be better about that. I think we all need to just be better
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't be afraid to like somebody else's post. Show love.
Shoo!
You greedy bastards.
That's a fucking fact. And without further ado, that has been another episode of More Than Tattoos. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and you guys have a wonderful week. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.